Okay, hello everybody from the UK. I'm here joined with Peter, and I welcome you all, new friends from around the globe. And I will start with passing the floor to Pearce, if Pearce is there.
Hiya, Kevin. Hiya, everybody. Yeah, I've got some I've got quite a few real side experiences of my own to share this week, and some of my daughters. I wouldn't mind sharing. They're pretty interesting as well. So I'll get started. I'll do mine first. Mine was last week. The first one I had was last week. I just started. I went to sleep, and then I was somewhere else. I was riding a horse, a beautiful horse, and it was like a desert scene. And I was galloping. I was going really fast, and the horse was like it was like a dark browny colour start, and then I heard another horse approaching me from behind, and it caught up with me, and it was Rebisar on the horse, and on another horse, but his horse was rainbow coloured, and it was moving the whole time. The whole horse was like, well, it was more than rainbow coloured. It was like every colour you can imagine, and it was just a movement of different colours going through the horse. And then I looked down at my horse, and it was the same. It was exactly the same as the one Rebisar was on. It had a golden mane, and it was multicolored, rainbow horse. And like Rebisar gave me a big smile, and then he like kicked up a load of dust, and his horse just accelerated off into the distance, and it ended up just like I was looking at a cloud of dust. Couldn't keep up with him. I was really pelting, really pelting for it, but I couldn't keep up with him. And then that was the end of that experience. But a few days later, I went into the same experience again. It was very strange. It happened in the evening. Yeah, it was the same. I could see him. It was exactly 2 days after, but it was the same experience. I went back to it, and I seen the dust charging off, and I knew it was Rebisar because I could see the colour of the horse. And I looked down, and my horse was the same, and it kind of like it speeded up. It was like going like really fast, but I still couldn't catch Rebisar, and then I couldn't see him no more. But it was a bit like Thelma and Louise. It was like there was a big drop, like a canyon, and like I didn't stop. I just rode out into the canyon, and it was like a canyon of just gold light, and that's what it was. That was the first and the second. Well, it was kind of interesting because it carried on 2 days later. But yeah, I drove the horse into a canyon of blinding golden light. That was pretty fantastic. And that was the first one I had. And then later on in the week, I had a dream. I can't remember the specifics, but I know for a fact that I had 3 jobs. There's 24 hours in a day, and divide it into 3. And it's like you get 3 hours, 8 hours for work, 8 hours for rest, 8 hours for leisure. But I wasn't. I was just working the whole. Like I'd work 8 hours here, 8 hours there, and 8 hours there. And I was doing it continuously, and I loved it. I didn't need to stop. I didn't know what I was doing. I even got a clue what jobs I was doing. I just know I had 3 different jobs, and I was just going at it like 24/7 without a break. But I loved it. It was brilliant. I woke up from it feeling, wow, that was, I should have been, needing sleep, but like I was just like full of it, And then the last one that I had, it was last night. It was after the Skype chat that was on. It was late anyway. It was about 2 a.m. our times, but like it was a bit later than that when I joined, and I thought I'll just listen in, and I was listening to Henry and Titus and Eric, and I was just listening, and I think I might have even drifted off. But when I'd finished, I put it all away, and I eventually went to bed. I sang the New You, and I had another one, real sad experience, and it was very strange and funny, and it was pretty awesome actually. I can remember I waking up I got up in my bedroom and the wardrobe door was open. My wife, I've got a like, it's called a barber, this specific make of coat I've got, and like my wife chucked it at me. She says, "Here, go and tell them what it is, Pearce." And then the next thing I remember is I was talking to Henry, and I was just talking. We was talking. I don't know. It seemed like we was talking the whole night. It was wonderful. It was like we was in like a really, really, really beautiful place. It was sun was shining, and we had like these drinks. Like we were sitting at a table. It was like, but it was in these strange glasses, like this green drink. And it was just me and Henry, and we was just talking about the Nunowness life is, and how awesome it is. And yeah, and that's it. That's the experience I've had this week. But I've got some more to share. I can share afterwards if Dwayne wants to say anything or anyone else wants to say anything. Back to you, mate.
Yeah, thank you, Pearce. Yes. No, that's fine. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you.
Brilliant. Can I tell you my daughter's experiences? I mean, she's got 3 to share. She's sat here with me now. I thought it was pretty awesome sharing them.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, the first one she had, she was on a school trip, double-decker bus in the city. She didn't know what city it was, and she said it was a huge city, huge, and she was going up a hill on the bus, and all of a sudden, a huge wave come, a huge, massive wave come, and just it tore up everything, and it just come over the hill, like she said, but it didn't move the bus. But she said she was on the bus, and there was it was destroyed everything. It just ripped everything up, the trees, the cars, whatever was there in the scene. It just all floating around the bus and just floating past the bus. And she said she's seen all different kinds of sea life: whales, sharks, fish, everything, octopuses, everything. And but there was there was a few people on the top of the bus. She said she remembers them from school, but she doesn't really know them. But they was familiar to her, and she said she heard but they was all holding the breath, like they couldn't breathe, even though the water wasn't inside the bus; it was outside. But everyone on the top deck was like holding the breath, and they was told to come downstairs. Somebody shouted up the stairwell and says, "Oh, come downstairs." So they all went downstairs, and they sat down, and then like the driver of the bus got up. He come along and he spoke to each person and patted them on the shoulder. He said, "It's okay, you can breathe down here." And that was it. And then she said she didn't really know anybody on the bus, but then she said she started singing the New You, and then that was the end of that particular experience. And then she had another one, which was it was rather interesting. She was in a haunted house, like a horror map. Like she said, it's like a horror map in the game, in some game. It was all abandoned and horrible. It's like a haunted house, all broke down and horrible, and just a horrible place. But she was in there with me and pardon?
2 other people.
Yeah, 2 other people, but she doesn't know who they were. And oh yeah, we was really tiny. We was really tiny. We was hiding in a wardrobe, and we was like the size of ants. She said we was like me and her, and there was 2 other people, but it was like really, really small, and we was hiding in a wardrobe. And then all of a sudden, she said she seen this zombie come out. These zombies walking around from everywhere. So we jumped out of the wardrobe and we grown really big, and we killed it. And then we was traveling around to different rooms in the house, and we was killing zombies. She says we had like lightsabers coming out of our hands, and we was just like, we was having these zombies all over. We was killing these zombies, and then she said we went in another room and there was a crate there, and she looked in the crate, and a zombie smashed its way out of the crate, and it frightened her a lot. And she chopped its head straight off, she said she chopped its head straight off with like a lightsaber. And then me and my daughter, we teleported into another room, she says, but it was like this big snake dragon kind of thing that was the boss. But during all this time, while we was killing the zombies, she said it was like a video game where if you chop one of them a certain way or or chop their arm off, you'd get a level up, like it appears on the game. It'd say level up 10,000 points or something like that. She said it was like that every time we killed something. We was kept leveling up, getting better and better. And we got to the end, like the big boss level, and it was like the only thing I can reference it as is like it's off the Harry Potter movie where we're fighting that big snake, the basilisk, and basically we destroyed this snake. Says we chopped it up like sushi with like laser hands or whatever, and then at the end of it, she said it was exactly the same as I can only reference it from a game that she told me that she plays, and it was I think it's Minecraft, where at the very end of the game where they kill the Ender Dragon and it all goes up, it's an explosion of light, and basically she said that's what it was when we killed this monster dragon basilisk thing. It was like when they killed the Ender Dragon at the end of the Minecraft game. She said it was just like an enormous explosion of light, golden light beams and stuff, and just golden light. And then she had another one which I thought was really interesting and awesome. And we was walking the dogs, just me and my daughter Mia, and a time before where the whole family, we've seen a UFO, and we all thought, well, that's suspicious. And it's in my village behind a farm called Saucer Farm. And on this dream, we was walking up this road, and Mia had seen the UFO in the sky and says, "Oh, look, Dad, look." So we'd both seen it, and it'd come down again. It'd come down behind Saucer Farm, and she says, automatically we followed it, but like she says, automatically we was there, like we teleported there, and the UFO had gone into like a barn at the farmhouse, behind the farmhouse, and we went in to see the UFO, me and Mia and the dogs, and she said like there was a ball of light appeared above the UFO, and the UFO just disappeared into the ball of light, and we followed it, and it was just me and Mia, not the animals, just me and Mia went then, and we come out the other side, but she said it was like really futuristic. It was like a building, like a H, the same shape as a H, exactly the same shape as a H. And it was all steel and glass and very futuristic, she says. And we was afforded a view. We was on a balcony, like in the middle bit of like where it crosses on the H, and below us there was a UFO landing. And she said all these alien types got out the UFO. Mia says, so we got scared and we hid. We made our way down off the balcony. Well, it said it was like a balcony on this H block thing, but the UFO had landed on an actual helipad below us, but we had like the overview from it, and we got scared and we went through a door, but it wasn't shutting properly, and Mia kept shutting it, and it was creaking, but by now she said the aliens had heard us and had come up to the deck where we was, and I slammed the door shut. I slammed it really loud, so it was like I don't know, but like Mia was frightened, but she said I slammed it really loud so it would make sure it was shut. And then there was a glass in the door where you could see through, and she said she seen these aliens and they terrified her, but the scene we was in there, and they grabbed the table. They grabbed the table to try to knock the door down, but then they realised, well, they don't need to use the table. They could use the handle. So they used the handle, and they got us, and they grabbed us, and they took us down to the bottom, round at the helipad where the UFO was, and we were sat down, and Mia said we was both scared, so we started singing the New Year, but we were surrounded by aliens, like, and we were singing the New Year, and then she said one of the aliens come to the forefront, and he like basically he unzipped his suit, and it was an alien suit, and it was Dwayne, it was you, Dwayne, and you was laughing your head off, and then it was all the other new friends. She said all the other aliens surrounding us, they all had the suits on, and they all unzipped themselves, and they was all smiling and laughing, and that was it. And then she says, yeah, everything just turned gold, and that was it. That was the end of that experience, and that's it. Thanks. Any thoughts? Oh, I do have one more to share as well, I think, but yeah, I'll let someone else speak for a bit. Thank you.
Thank you, young man. Yes, quite an adventure there. Please write those down and share those on Facebook. But yeah, thank you so much. Yes, it's things are the adventure is heading up here, the new wave, etc., and backing up to the bus, etc. The idea of holding your breath is that as things come about, it's kind of like, well, you got to hold your breath to see if what's going to happen. Well, it is happening, so now you can breathe easy because again, things are happening, etc. And I shared an experience with one of Ava's friends, Katrina, was on the real side with, and explaining to her what is happening with the sun and galaxy and stuff like that. And it was confirmed. Henry found it with what's going on. So it's all happening a step at a time, kids. So we're in the big adventure. Thank you, Pearce.
Thank you, Dwayne. Thank you. All right, Peter and Kevin, back to you, my friends. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dwayne.